Sandhya. Thank you so much for coming here. And this video is essentially to create an awareness for teachers on how to take care of themselves. Here we have Sandhya, who's in the field of Tel Physio, and she has helped a lot of people, including me, to overcome their challenges with respect to their pains and aches. I guess she'll be the right person to explain what she's actually doing. Could you?
Yeah, thank you so much for the introduction. So, Tel Physio, basically, I'm a physiotherapist. So, we are having a clinic in UP called Tel Physio Wellness Center. It's a completely gamified center. And Tel Physio, generally, what it means is like teleconsultation, where we consult virtually through Zoom call or WhatsApp video call, Google Meet, whatever is very comfortable for the patient, right? Where we will help working professionals and entrepreneurs to overcome their physical difficulties. Example, difficulty in writing, sitting, sleeping, walking. So whatever functional challenges they are facing. So pain is just a symptom. So than pain, most of the people find it more difficulty doing functions. So particular functions they are finding it difficult to do, where they feel pain as well. So that is the major. So when we help them to improve their functions, automatically the pain drops down. So instead of reducing the pain, so we work on functions. So pain relief is a bonus.
Okay,
attached to it.
that's nice. We love getting bonuses actually.
Yeah.
Because since you mentioned about these functions, could you tell in your experience what are the predominant functional difficulties people have, working professionals have in general?
Then, if I want to tell what are the function difficulties they have, generally there are 5 parameters when it comes to function which may get affected on a particular individual. So generally we talk about flexibility, so strength, endurance, neuromuscular coordination and balance. So these are the 5 parameters where we work with the individual to improve this. When they improve this, then automatically they will have a sustainable recovery. So this protocols whatever we are providing will not help them to cure whatever the problem they are facing. It will also prevent in the future they don't get the recurrence of that particular problem. That is where what we do unique about. And as you asked, like what is the individual problem, so it depends from industries to industries. More commonly what we see is in your spinal areas, that is pain in the neck and shoulder and back pain. And at some point if they are doing a job of standing for a longer period of time and things like that, then they may have a lot of pain in their ankles. And like few business people, they'll be using heels and things. There are some dress costumes whatever, even that create a trouble to them. So there are a lot of factors which is involved in it. And more common what we see is psychosomatic disorders. So the thing is like what we can call it as more on the stress factor which affects their physical body.
In case if they are having lot of responsibility on their shoulder, they have to do lot of things. Always they stay busy.
True.
I have to do this work needs to be done, that work needs to be done. So automatically
The first question what we will ask, like, do you shoulder a lot of responsibility? And commonly we'll find they are complying with neck and shoulder. So there are few emotions and few mental thinking process also which create problem in their physical aspects. So we do some testing and things. So during that time we will understand how much is their mind involved and how much is their body involved. Because working on the body is very easy because we can measure it easily. But working on the mind, like it is an intangible factor.
Oh, that's a very interesting point.
yeah, so as that is there, like when they can connect each other, so the recovery is going to be holistic. So we focus on a holistic recovery than just curing their symptoms.
Okay, that's very nice. So you were telling about people not taking care of themselves, prolonging what they are doing. I have seen people, who have done the same thing for say 30 years, 40 years,
Yeah.
and by the time they become 60 or 60 plus, they become literally immobile. They cannot move at all.
Yeah.
So do you think it's important that we take precaution, or should I actually only work when I have a problem? How should we deal with these kind of challenges?
So we call this, when you're doing repeated task again and again, we call it as occupational musculoskeletal disorder. So occupational musculoskeletal, it happens because of a particular occupation. Example, if you see teachers, so they'll be writing a lot on the board. So during the retirement, till then as they are using an overhead activity. Example, if they are writing it like this. So during the practice, they'll be using overhead activity. In general, we as a common public, if you're not going in a bus, if it is not rush, you will not do much overhead activities actually. Other than that, we don't do this particular activity. But for teachers, it is very common. And they're using it for past 20-30 years. Once they get retired, until then, because this joint have been more mobile and things, they will not find any difficulty. As soon this movement got cut down, they will start feeling pain in their shoulders. So they come with a lot of complaint of neck and shoulder pain. Because it happened because of a repetitive task. And they don't do anything to prevent it. Example, whenever you're doing in the early morning, if you can flex it, basic stretching. It's not necessary you have to get into a gym and do big activities. A basic 5 to 10 minutes of workout in the morning and in the evening, that will help you to prevent most of your problem. Because this happens not only for working professionals, so very commonly happening in athletes too. That's the reason they do warm up and cool down activities. But that too only if they are playing for a national games, state games, they have a therapist for them to suggest. Or else sometimes the protocols what they do also they do it wrong. Example, there are how medications have dosages. If you go to a doctor, they will say that take this tablet for 5 mg. So same way in physiotherapy, exercise have dosages.
Okay.
Yeah, so because when you're going and doing as a fitness, it's a different, but when you're coming for a therapeutic reason, so you have to follow few dosages. Okay. Example, if I'm asking you to do a stretching, so it should be done a particular time period. It should be holded for these many seconds. So only if these many seconds are ordered, the muscle will get stretched. Okay. If that exact amount of time if you don't hold, the muscle will not get stretched at all. Then there is no use of doing that particular activity in the whole.
I think this is something very new.
Yeah.
Even I'm realizing why you asked me to hold for 15 seconds when you asked me to do certain stretches.
Yeah.
In fact, I would like to add something here. I had a severe backache and I felt somewhere I couldn't sit for a long time. I used to be very comfortable sitting on the floor, but over a period of time, I couldn't do that at all because I was just having severe pain in this area. When I spoke to Sandhya, Dr. Sandhya, she was asking me to do certain exercises, certain stretches for 15 seconds, and it hardly took like few minutes to complete. But then it gave a very big relief. Maybe this continuity is what makes all the difference, is what I feel. Don't you think so?
Yeah, exactly. We'll give a small example how our body works, but they should understand the basics. Example, you're a person, you don't walk much. For each and every, nowadays that is the scenario, right?
Yes.
From home, like you get into your car or you get into your two-wheeler,
Absolutely.
it goes anyway. So your walking hour got reduced. That means your physical activity got reduced. So in that case, suddenly you have to climb Mardam again. After climbing and coming down, how does your body feel? You have aches, you have issues with your body. The same thing only. When you're not used to do a lot of physical activities, suddenly you're doing a lot of physical. Nowadays, the people who are in IT, people who are in Bangalore and things like that, 5 days they do work. It's 100% sedentary work. They'll be sitting in the office for 12 hours in front of the system. And what they do on Saturday, Sunday, they go for hike or they go for gymming.
Correct.
Example, the whole week you're not doing any activity and suddenly you go and pump your blood by climbing as and hiking. These all are cardio activities.
Yes.
And you go and work on your gym. Your body couldn't adapt to that. And we see recent studies have shown that have created very young heart attacks. People around 30 to 35 years of age. Because they don't understand how their body functions. When it comes to when we're buying a car or thing, even a phone, we will know what are the features, how you have to take care, what things needs to be done, the protection and everything we do it, even for a mobile phone. But the same care we don't give it to our body and we don't even understand how our body works. These are basic, we have studied in our schoolings, 9th, 10th standard, how heart is functioning, how lungs are functioning.
But how much we have taken it inside is a big question that we need to ask ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. And these are very simple procedures. So when we understand, the thing is like you should understand when you can ready to go and learn about a car, how the engine is working, what is the horsepower, what is this, what is that. At least we should give little time for us to understand our own body, how it is working and everything.
True.
So when you understand whatever you're doing, you will know like why you're doing these things, how it is going to affect your body. So when you're doing and taking a conscious decision, the recovery and the healing what is happening inside your body is very high. See, generally, whatever task you're doing, when you know something and doing, how would be the effect? And you don't know nothing just because someone is saying you're doing, what would be the effect? It changes, right? When you know
Absolutely.
something, you're going to give your best. But when you don't know, you just do it for the sake of doing.
Yes.
The same thing when it comes to your body also, you should take a conscious decision, understanding what is right. So it is easy for us to come from the position of difficult to position of strong.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is like that.
Got it.
Mhm.
I guess we need to get into the actual topic for today,
Yeah,
that is helping teachers, the educators get better of themselves.
yeah,
So my first question to you is, predominantly in teaching industry, we still stand. That
yeah,
is the posture that you see most of the times. Now things are changing.
yeah,
People have started this group learning, peer learning kind of setup,
yeah.
where schools allow the teachers to sit with children and perform. But
Perform.
mostly even now, teachers stand for a long time.
Yeah.
So what is that you would suggest for them to take care of themselves when they do the same or when they follow the same posture for a very long time?
Yeah, exactly. Whenever they are standing for a long time, the very important part is like their circulation from down to up might get affected. So there are few simple exercises which can be done for ankles, which will help them for to get ready for the next class. It will be like hardly take 2 minutes before they're getting into the next class. So those things can be done, and not only standing, as you said, whenever they do correction a lot.
Yes.
So they'll be bending their head and writing. There'll be a lot of writing works for the teachers, not just for
Yes.
the students.
Yes.
So during that time, they have a lot of problem with your neck because of the posture. So just because nowadays a lot of people are talking about posture, you cannot have the right posture throughout the day
Mm.
because we are not the robot.
Yes.
So we have got joints to move it. We have to flex, we have to extend, we have to do whatever movements is possible from the joint, we have to do everything. But in a day, we don't do all the movements. Most of the time in a day, like nowadays, the biggest weight what people carry is, I think, so mobile phone. Yeah.
Very true. And we
So,
have this posture all the time, right? Looking
yeah,
at it.
yeah, exactly. And when it nowadays, like as everything came at our hands, we don't even use laptop as well.
Of
Everything we
course.
started seeing our mobile phone. So it's very great because earlier during our generation and thing, they didn't have this much of information for available. So for each and everything, like we have to go and refer. There were a lot of things, but nowadays it's a good in one point. But how it is going to affect our physical health? So example, if you're bending down, very simple thing. Like whenever you are aware, just turn up and see the roof.
Mm.
So just doing it for a 30 seconds or a minute. Initially start with 30 seconds. And every 1 hour, if you just do 30 seconds, that means you're going to do in 8 hours of working. You'll be
Of course.
doing 8 times.
Yes.
That will give counteraction. So that is going to help you to relax that particular muscle and
Okay.
bring balance to that way.
Okay.
Because you are doing for an hour and just doing it every 30 seconds for 1 hour. It's very simple for them to do it.
Yes.
They don't need to put an extra effort or time.
Of course.
Yeah, so when they are doing it, this is going to help them. And there is a proverb, right? Apple a day keep doctors away. Right. But just think, for 6 days you didn't take apple, and 7 days you're going to take 7 apples.
It just
Will it
doesn't
make any
work.
sense?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to get admitted in hospital.
All the apples keeps the doctor close, I think.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, if it is done, actually in Tamil also they will say like alavukka meerinal amritamum nanju. So when you are doing something too much, so that is where the problem
Hmm.
occurs. So instead of that, if you take fruit every day, that is okay. But you cannot take accumulative in the end of the week or something. Nowadays, most of the people, like the whole week, they don't do much physical activity, and end of the day to compensate, they are doing it. Actually, it is harming their body than helping them. But they don't know this. They don't have much awareness. They think that physical activity is good. So 7 days, sorry, 5 days I'm not doing. Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to pump blood in the morning 2 hours and evening 2 hours. Your body doesn't work in that way. It have to
Absolutely.
go step by step. Suddenly, like your you're giving more pressure on your heart, you're giving more pressure on your body, the muscles, and it is going to, because 5 days it is ideal, and suddenly you're giving a lot of work, it's going to get injured.
True that.
Yeah.
In fact, I think you'll have to add all these little things in your routine.
Yeah.
So it becomes easy for you to maintain consistency and also not have any challenges because of doing certain things, right?
Yeah. And very, very important when it comes to pain, a lot of people are not concentrating on hydration. They don't drink much water. They take coffee, tea.
Include me in that list.
Yeah, cool drinks and things like that. But your body is made up of 70% water. And a lot of people come with complaints of cramps. They say like I have cramp in my cough, I have cramp in my backs. And when I ask the questions, how much water consumption, you will morning I take half liter, then evening in a day like I may take around 1 liter of water. Your 70% body consists of water and you're just taking 1 liter. So that means like you're putting a lot more pressure on your body to purify, to for the blood supply, for the transformation within the cells. Because you have water inside the cells and you have water outside the cells.
Okay.
So, and you have different fluids. Each and everything needs water. If you take your blood, 70% is your water. That is plasma.
Of course.
So rest of the thing. So only when you have that water and the kidney have to purify it. So all these things, the water plays a major role. And it provides as a lubrication for your joints and things like that. So whenever you give enough hydration to your body, it's going to help you in a lot more ways, and it's going to help regarding your reducing the aches and things. So this is very simple. When they ask for my nutrition, because I'm a certified nutritionist, so they ask like, "Mom, can you give me that?" First they'll ask water, then I'll say like, "First you do this."
Okay.
So once this is done, then we'll see like what you can do next. Because even the basic they can't follow. Giving a diet plan, even you can find it in Google. You'll get best diet plans in Google.
Of course.
But it's not about the diet plans. And suddenly you cannot change your food patterns too. Your body will not accept easily. So if you take one step at a time, if you can convert it to a habit, we should not do for the sake of some goals. I want to reduce. I'm having my wedding in next 3 months. So after
And I
3 months,
want to reduce
again I
8
will go.
kgs.
Yeah, again I will go and eat earlier whatever my food habits were. If you're starting for a healthy lifestyle or things, start with one and make sure like you are going to take a oath, you're going to continue for lifetime.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Slow and steady makes a lot of difference.